Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's George again. What I'm doing today is harvesting some comfrey, and normally I would divide it and spread it, but it's been so dry right now that it would be impossible for it to survive. So I'm gonna harvest some of it, and I'm gonna make a comfrey tea for the garden. They say it's going to rain a couple days this week, or there's a possibility of it. If I can catch enough rain to fill my barrels up, I like to be able to pour this in the barrels and use it for fertilizer on my garden. Okay, right here is some comfrey that's done bloomed. And right in here is some comfrey that's done bloomed. And right here are some of my Egyptian walking onions. And you see this right here? This is where your new onions come from every year. But that's not what we're doing today. I'm gonna let you watch me harvest this comfrey because I'm not taking it all. I'm just taking, like you'll see down here in the bottom, there's new growth here. And I'm not going to cut it out, but the old growth that's big, I will. And I don't want to kill it, but this new growth will, renew the plant. And when you take a lot of this bigger stuff off, it don't need as much water. Now right here is the other one. I think you can see it right here. I'm going to cut a leaf or two off of it. And now it's got some leaves that are left. So I didn't, cut it all the way back. And right here's our little pile. We'll gather it up and go out here to the buckets, and I'll show you how to make the comfrey tea. Okay, I brought the comfrey out here. See how long it is? It won't fit in the bucket very good like that. So what I like to do is cut it at about a foot in length. Now you can just like cut it all to pieces, but this will fit in my bucket. And I'll show you how I like to put it in the bucket. But now I'm gonna go ahead and stuff this in the first bucket. Now here's some more that I harvested at the other comfrey patch. And I was trying to video it, but of course it died, or the video shut off. So I didn't get to that one. But once again, you can cut it in little pieces if that's what you want to do. And the better you cut it up, the better it will spread out in the water we're about to put in there. And it'll set in these buckets for a week or longer, just depending on how long it takes to get these barrels filled back up. Okay, I'm cutting these a little shorter. And I know it looks like that knife ain't sharp, but it is. It's just right now it's got older and the stems are tough on them. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this last little batch up. And we'll put it in the buckets, and I'll run some water on it real quick. Okay, as you can see, I just stuffed it down in these buckets. I'm gonna go out here and run water in these buckets, but I want to push it down. Let me see if I can get you where you can see what I'm doing. Let's see, can you see the top of them buckets? No. Let me let you down a little more. I'm sorry for the video. It's kind of hard doing this by yourself. But here's the buckets. And this morning, I cleaned out the rabbit pens. And I have some rabbit poop in this bag. And I will add the rabbit manure to this bucket. Okay, I don't want to fill them all the way up because I do want to put water in them. Okay, we'll shake this down and make the manure go down in the bucket with the comfrey. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the water hose and I'll show you us filling them up. There's a little bit of comfrey back here, fell off the thing. I'll just put it on top of this bucket. But now, I'm gonna fill this bucket as full as I can fill it with water, so that it takes and pulls all the goodness out of the comfrey and the rabbit manure. And I'll let it sit out here for 7, 10, 14 days. The longer you leave it, the more nutrition will come out of the rabbit poop and the comfrey plants. But when you put this in your barrels, I've got 275 gallon barrels. They say you mix the water off this 10 to 1. So this will do 50 gallons and this one will do 50 gallons. But what I'll do is I'll pour it into the 275 gallon tote and make sure that, it's not over strong, but where they get the nutrients out of it that it needs. But now I will run these through a screen to catch all the manure and comfrey plants. Then I will put that on a compost pile to still draw more out of it. Now I'm gonna let it sit there. As you can see it, I don't know if you can see it bubbling or not. It's bubbling. So I'm gonna take this stick and reach down in there and try to get the air out and get all the water in this bucket that I can get. Okay, that one's full. This one here needs a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go turn the water off and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm just gonna take a lid. I don't want it completely tight down because I want it to like ferment and draw the nutrients out of them comfrey plants. So I'm just gonna lock it down a little bit. And where my dog, the puppy, thinks anything I touch, she needs to destroy, I'm gonna set it up on this lumber pile right here where she can't get to it, because if I don't, she'll have to drag the buckets off and stuff like that. So let me see if I can set you up to where you can see me put it up there. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna make a fairly level place with this 2x4 and 2 boards to set them buckets up right there. And Okay, here's the first. Give me a second. Okay. And there's the second one. Now, I'm not going to be using this lumber for a little bit. I plan on building a salt house, I guess what you call it, or a smoke house to put meat in. But I'm going to put it right up there on that bank. Well, right up there. And I got to get my cousin, if he got time, to come and help me put some steps up that bank so I can get the lumber up there. But I got lumber here and I got lumber on out there to get that done with. But I'm sure, he'll help me with the project to get it up off the ground at least to where, I can get it under, at least in the dry. But this is just how simple comfrey tea is. But it's loaded full of nutrients and vitamins and stuff that your garden needs. And I bought them plants there. I don't remember what I get from them. They wasn't super expensive. And you take and let that set. And right there we made 100 gallon of fertilized water. And when it goes in a tote, which mine won't be hardly as strong as I'd like for it to be. I don't have a. Now you can do other plants too. If you got burdock, dock, plankton and stuff that grows deep, you can do the same thing with it. It's just not as nutritious as this is, but it will do the same job. But right now I don't have enough buckets, and I'm going to just do what I got. This will do 275 gallon, and that's one watering on my whole garden. So, it'll get a lot of nutrients that way. And I have put down a little bit of the chemical fertilizer. I don't like to, but I do because I can't get nothing to grow without it. And I put down, 75 pounds of fertilizer around the plants and kind of, put it underground so the sun don't kill it. Because if you just put it on top of the ground, the sun will pull all the nutrients out of your fertilizer. But I'm hoping this week we can get enough rain to catch 2 or 3 of these totes full, and that way when the garden does need water, see, I'll strain this, put it in that tote, and then if I've got enough, I may go back and re-wet this and put more manure in it and let it soak for another, like if it fills this one tote up, this may be the one, or that down there, that I start putting extra in it let's say once a week, I put some in that. But right now we ain't had but one rain in 2 weeks, and I got 6 inches of water in one tote. So it wasn't a lot, but I'm glad we got it because it did help the garden. But next year, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, I'm going to put guttering on the rabbit pen. I'm going to put guttering on this porch. I'm going to put guttering all the way across the front of the house. And I'm going to set about 6 or 7 more totes. So in the spring of the year, when all that good rain's coming in, I'll be able to catch all these totes full. I'll designate one tote for, doing stuff like this, and that way I can keep it going. Like I can put rabbit manure in them buckets, put the water in it, then strain it and have a separate pump that when I pump that one barrel, puts 275 gallons of water, fertilized water on the garden. But it's all in time. That's one thing about homesteading. You can't do it all in a day. Never have, never will. But plan what you want to do and work towards those plans. I got to go inside now. I'll just make a little short video, it'll be like about 15 minutes or something on this, so you can see what it does and how long it takes to do it. But I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna work on some. I got to put the kraut in the jars today, and it did make good water, so I'm good to go with it. I've got more potatoes to go, and I'm going to make hash browns, and I'll make a video on the hash browns and how I make them. And then I'm going to do, I've got 5 or 6 bags of apples again. So I'm going to figure out something to do with them apples. I'll probably take and I may do apple pie filling because I can eat cooked apples, you know, make breakfast and then have some cooked apples with a biscuit, and it's awful good that way. Uh, you know, anything to keep from losing apples and letting them go to waste. Well, I appreciate y'all coming along, and remember, this is Comfrey Tea. The boy's name is Billy, and I was trying. It's Perma Pasture Farms has this comfrey. They do sell it, and if you'll get in touch with him, just look up Perma Pasture Farms, and you know, he may still sell it. He just sells a certain amount, but if not, he can probably find you somebody that's got some. But go down there and look him up, and you know, tell me that you'd like to have some comfrey, because this is good stuff. And now later this year, I will go in and you just dig that comfrey up, split it in 3 or 4 pieces, put it back in the ground, and next year you got, you know, more planks and more comfrey to harvest. But now mine is just, this will be the second year I've had it. So this year I'll divide it. Next year I won't. After I divide it, you know, I want to give it time to reroot, reestablish itself and all that. So I won't go back in and do it, but every other year until I get a bunch of it. But you know, look him up. They make this comfrey too, but they don't put the manure in theirs like I do, the rabbit manure. But you can see how they do it. But I'll let you go. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. And thank you for watching the video. And we'll see you on the next one.